Now, part two of my interview with former President Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. I asked him about his VP search. Here's what he said. Let me ask you, where are you in the process of picking a vice president? Because you're getting close.
Well, yeah, but I think I'll announce who that person's going to be during the convention. I think that's pretty normal. During the convention, it'll be an interesting period of time.
You want to give me any names?
No, but you look.
You don't want to
we
give
have
me
a lot
names.
of good,
I'd love for you to give me
I know.
names.
We have a lot of good. You'll be certainly maybe the first to know. In all fairness.
Thank you.
We have some people that have done a fantastic job in communicating the ills and the assets and the advantages and the disadvantages of what we're doing as a country and where we are as a country. This is a very dangerous, Sean, this is a very dangerous time in America. We have a very corrupt system of politics like we've never had before. And we have to strengthen our elections, and we have to strengthen our borders, and we've got to do something with our country, or we're not going to have a country left. And, we're talking about other countries and respect. They don't respect our president right now. And unless our president is respected, we are in really grave danger.
Yeah. There is this issue of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and I assume he's going to be in the ballot. And I don't think a lot of conservatives have examined his record. I'll scroll it now so I don't have to read it. The NRA is a terrorist organization. Hashtag keep it in the ground. He doesn't want drilling. He doesn't want fracking. He doesn't want any energy independence at all. He has gone with from everybody from Obama, every radical left-winger. And somehow they say that he's conservative. And I think it really has to do with one issue, his opposition to the shot or the COVID shot or vaccinations.
Which, by the way, I watched him the other night on a show, and he said he had no opposition to it all of a sudden. But look, I know him well. He's radical left. His family is very radical left, and they hate him for doing because he's lying. It's not like he grew up conservative. He's very radical left. He's hurt New England, and he's hurt New York so badly because what they've done on energy is a disaster. Their energy is through the roof because he doesn't want any drilling. He doesn't want any fracking. He doesn't want anything.
No coal.
He is a radical left guy, and because he came out at one point strongly against all vaccines. Now, is he against the polio vaccine? Because polio was destroying the country, it was destroying the world.
Let me ask you about the demographic shift that keeps showing up in poll after poll after poll. And you mentioned these demographics earlier, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, young people. That is a big part of the Democratic coalition. And you've heard people like James Carville, like really angry. And I've known James, I've debated James over the years. I like him.
Yeah.
Crazy, but like him. And he's a smart guy. And people like David Axelrod and Van Jones and even Maureen Dowd, powerful voices in the Democratic Party, sensing that that coalition is crashing. I would argue that the radicalized party of the left today is nothing like the old Democratic Party. They've become the party of coastal elites. And the Republican Party, especially under you, has become the party of hardworking Americans, rank and file. The people, when you went out and you met those construction workers during your trial, USA, that wouldn't have happened maybe years ago, that a Republican would get that response. Or when you went to New Jersey, were you a little surprised by the size of that crowd?
Well, we had 107,000 people. It's the biggest crowd they've ever had in New Jersey. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. But black people, African-American people, are streaming toward us. I think one of the big reasons, because they had the best economy, we had the best economy, best job numbers, best everything during my presidency. Also, I funded the historically black colleges and universities. Yeah. I funded them. They were coming to Washington every year, the presidents. Every single year they were coming to Washington looking for money. One of them, and I became friendly with a lot of them, they run the black colleges and universities, and they would ask, and I took care of them. I gave them long-term financing, much more money than they wanted, and they really like me, I will tell you. They really like me. No Democrat did that. But when you look at the things I did, criminal justice reform, I got criminal justice reform. Obama couldn't get it. Nobody could get it. I've done more for black people than anybody since Abraham Lincoln, and they understand it. They really understand it. And they also had the best job numbers they've ever had. They had the best job numbers they've ever had during the Trump administration.
Let me ask you a couple of things. Merrick Garland.
That goes, by the way, for Hispanics also. Hispanics, I think I'm above 50%. This is, you know, to somebody watching that say, well, what's so good about 50%? Republicans are down at 8 and 9%. I think I'm going to maybe win the Hispanic population. We had a poll out today that African American, 32% for Trump. 32%. Romney got like 4%. I think I'm at 32%. And I think it's going to grow. Look, Biden is a stiff. You talk to him, you look at him. These are smart people. African Americans, Hispanics, they're smart people. They've gone through a lot. They look at this guy, and he doesn't know where the hell he is. He doesn't know he's alive. And I think it's very hard for them to vote for him.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.